normally weird, and he can't hear me, and he's not listening. Just like normally.
God damn it. Why does this shit never want to work whenever I want it to?
Blake, I might hang out with Terrence this weekend.
Oh, yeah?
Hey, I'm going to visit my parents. Apparently he lives in Austin.
So, like, if you're going to go visit your parents,
Ooh, you're gonna be in Austin? That's only an hour and a half away from where I live.
Dude, I'm there like 4 times a year. We can hang out.
Blake, you wanna join? Wanna drive down from Missouri, buddy?
I'm still waiting for you guys to come to Castle.
I've been there. You've never been to my home.
That's true, but I have a family.
That's such an aggressive thing to say.
Because he gives me shit all the time. You know what, Blake? What? You don't want a little vacation? You don't want some time away?
No, bro,
I
think what we should do is do like Worlds or the NA Finals again. So
Right, but you just lie to your family about how it's happening, and really you come hang out in Philly?
It's right now, and it's in Philly all weekend.
Fuck it, I can't send you any pictures. There's no photos allowed. It's at a strip club.
Yeah. Yeah, they had that in this one strip club.
Gamers, am I right?
Fucking
They don't have
It's
girl-
the first time they've seen titties.
They don't have girlfriends because they like to press buttons on their keyboard. Ha 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 ha.
So we
And
are
their
streaming
girlfriends
this.
press their buttons. It's very inconvenient.
Nobody in my life understands my gaming. It's my life.
I fixed it.
Dude,
Hey, so if
Look
you'll
at him,
notice,
TV master.
behind me is my projector set up. Like, I'm working on that.
I didn't.
Law
I didn't
Office of
notice.
Ake Elds.
Yeah, Akelds. That's my law office.
I thought your name was
Blake Fields. Yeah, but Akelds works so much better.
Is it like one name, like one word, like Zendaya? It's just Ake
Yeah,
Elds?
yeah, it's just Akelds, no space.
Or Cher, I guess, is a more apt.
No, I like the Disney chick who was on The Greatest Showman.
She was also in Spider-Man,
Was she?
the new one. Yeah.
Oh, she plays Mary Jane, and she plays it horrible.
No, she doesn't play Mary Jane. She plays another one, and then the emo chick was Mary Jane.
Yeah. Who does she play?
She plays like a different love interest, and then she leaves at the end of the movie and she moves away.
I'm getting a different hat.
Well, that makes sense.
Well, I'm just telling you how it is.
Okay, well, we are live, and I'm going to go ahead and
Because
start
this is gold,
recording.
baby.
I'm going to go ahead and start the recording here. Hey, everybody. Welcome to League of Legends Anonymous podcast. I am starting early because Brad just left, so I'll introduce him while he's gone. He's Brad LOLA Klein.
Oh, he's coming back. He's here now. Oh, hey guys, it's me, Brad, and this is my voice. Okay, guys, introduce me.
Yeah, and also is Michael Ponderasilian. What's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back. You guys thought that you could kill me, but it's impossible for me to die. It's a rare condition. I'm back. Let's do this.
So, Brad, you've already been introduced while you were gone.
It seems like you made a mistake by doing that when I said I'm gonna go get.
No, I even noted that you had left, and then I introduced you, and Michael jumped in and did your voice.
That wasn't.
You know, the key to being a good host is to start the show when no one's present.
Right.
2/3 of us were here.
Well, and I also thought,
does Blake count as a full third?
when I carry the podcast so effectively,
Listen,
you're right.
Your name behind you has at best half.
Yeah,
No,
we were talking about
when
that.
I said it. Don't you fucking dare! Don't reposition to make this seem like I'm
need
the
to-
asshole, you dick.
I'm gonna wait until you're done. Like, if you guys are on a rant, I'm just gonna go adjust the thing so it shows up right, just to prove a point. So, anyway, we are here. We have literally zero topic because I was in a preliminary hearing all day. So, let me tell you a story about why I have a projector behind me with my office logo on it.
It's gonna come out
Wait.
great for audio.
Yeah, it
Did you
doesn't
buy
matter.
it and now it's there?
Yes, I did. So, here's the thing. I go to court I have a video, right? And I want to play the video because it's evidence and it's fucking brilliant, right? This is the subject here. One of my clients is accused of punching a police officer in the face, right? That's cool. Except I know that guy, and he's not the kind of guy who would completely punch a police officer in the face. Doesn't make any sense, right? So I'm like, there has to be a misunderstanding going on here.
Hey, wait. I'm sorry to interject. I think we got to take it from the top. It looks like I have no squiggles. And we would have figured that out before you started the show, but you started the goddamn show before I was here.
You're supposed to check your fucking squiggles!
Right.
You always check your squiggles. When you get into Zencaster, you check your squiggles.
Look at this non-squiggling asshole.
What a squiggle-free bitch. This is all... People on the stream are loving this, though.
Are there any people in the stream?
I don't know.
I don't even know how to...
No, it's just me.
I don't realize what an unkempt millennial I look like until I see myself in the webcam.
So, I've literally never seen this before. It says stats. And instead of like 0 viewers, it says non-viewers. Capital N, lowercase a, capital N, viewers. Strange.
Maybe it's short for nano.
Our viewers are very small.
Hey, so if we stop this recording, can I then...
I think you can just hit this.
Settings at all?
Okay, so we'll stop the recording. And then I'm going to go and delete that recording, and then we can use the same thing.
It's a real shame that intro was gold.
Well, we could still, I mean, he was going to rip the audio off of YouTube, more than likely, anyway.
Now?
So,
I got squiggles now.
what? How do you have squiggles?
I don't know.
Click that link again. You need to click that link.
Do I need to click the link
Yeah,
again?
everybody needs to click the link again. Drop out and drop back in.
I had squiggles.
Because I deleted what we just did. Yeah, same name. I deleted what we
same.
did, and then I remade a new one with the same name.
Akefield.
that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
How am I gonna know which one of you is the real Ake? Which one do I shoot? Do I shoot the left or the right? Which one's you, Blake?
All right, we're starting the recording. You could use these shitty jokes then. Hang on. Hey everybody, welcome to League of Legends Anonymous, episode 209, take 2, because Brad didn't have any fucking squiggles.
Shouldn't have started the show
What
without me,
a
you dickhead.
Yeah, you
Squiggle free.
gotta check for those audio squiggles or we gotta restart. So, we're here. Surprisingly enough, Brad Klein is on the show tonight. Hey, Brad.
Hey, man.
Even more surprisingly, it's me for the first time ever, Astros BK.
That's fun.
Making my debut on the
that's,
podcast.
That's like the best way to let me say hello to people is just to step on it.
Yeah.
With a false name and just douchebaggery.
Yeah, that is the kind of shit Astros would do.
Attention. I
Run it back.
am
Start over.
fragile. I am a millennial. You will listen to me, and I will be relevant.
The
Or
thing is, I
I'll
believe
just have mental health issues. Those are the only things that you need to know about my
Hey, fun fact,
demographic.
Wanderers, this is not a safe space. You
What?
will be shit upon here.
Yeah. Well, to be fair,
What are
he
you
did
talking
get
about?
instant gratification, so he's probably good. You know, right off the bat. Fucking millennials. So, turns out we have a group here to appeal to every demographic. You've got me and Brad Klein who appeal to white males.
He stole that joke from me.
Yes,
like
I did.
right before the podcast.
No, I
We've
stole
got
that joke from Ponderous Sea Lion, but you have introduced yourself as Astros BK, so I just got confused.
I guess that I have to pull the rug out from under you, Blake. It's me, Ponderous Sea Lion. I've been here the whole time.
Whoa!
That's some Kaiser Soze shit.
Yeah,
Took off the
some
mask.
That guy shit.
And underneath the mask was another Michael Largent. So, Ponderous Sea Lion is here. How you doing, buddy?
Good. It feels good to for this podcast to have somebody who knows how to play League of Legends on it. Thank you,
Right.
Billy.
Yeah, Blake,
Really
thanks for
helps.
being here.
No problem.
Dang.
Got it covered.
Ass.
So, Brad, what are you doing, man? Been a while.
Yeah, man. I'm just chilling and shit. You know how I do.
Yeah. So we got some feedback on you, and the feedback was, "Who is this Brad guy? I really like him. You should have him on the podcast more often."
Well,
Clearly not an OG fan.
Not an OG fan, but a fan nonetheless, and he likes Brad, so that's a good thing.
Hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. I was gonna make a joke about that coming from Blake's wife, but we won't do that right now. I'm genuinely thankful.
Well, I mean, you've been to my house, so I don't think she would be like, "Who's this Brad guy?" Because she'd
I'm
be
not
like,
very memorable.
just whoosh,
You know,
faded
from
right
like
out of memory.
She
I
was
feel like-
pregnant. Who knows what she remembers?
I
Was
feel
she
like from
pregnant?
100 yards away, you guys just look identical.
Yeah, that's why we appeal to every demographic.
I said
Is-
from very far away.
Because, like, Brad and I appeal to white males aged, what, like 25 to 40?
Well, when I said it was
That's our
26
stretch?
to 35.
Okay, 26 to 35.
Sure.
So
I'll take
fine,
it.
that's our stretch.
I feel like we're going a little bit lower. You know, maybe
And-
it's good. We appeal to a
Well,
younger
I mean, we have
crowd.
Michael here
Well,
who appeals to demographics age 15 to 25, very white males, like porcelain white males. So, hey, Michael, did you just
Hey,
put up a white screen in front of your camera?
Also, why
Anyone
is
who's-
your arm is a perfect tube. It doesn't change shape.
Anyone who's watching this without the video component, they're missing out. Let me
I
just
think
say
they
that.
can
Very
imagine.
rigid pool noodle for an
Yeah,
arm.
if you like took like a Halloween skeleton and put just skin on it, and that skin was like PVC pipe white, that's like Michael's arm.
But also had like a snarky face.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, looks like a sly golden retriever.
Oddly feminine, but still a complete asshole face. That's me.
Great
Yeah,
head of hair though. Great.
yeah, he does have a full
Thanks.
head of hair.
You
That'll
don't have to
go.
fucking Fabio that shit. Just
Yeah.
can't believe it's not butter.
I feel like you should just have a high-powered but quiet fan on the other side of your camera, just to let it blow.
Just slowly, like, moving it like 5%, just
Yeah.
enough to be noticeable.
Because then we would appeal to the female demographic of the age group of 15 to 25.
We
I don't
already do,
necessarily
Blake.
want to appeal to the 15-year-old lady.
Come on, look at the three of us.
Oh no, Brett, that's not us. We do not appeal
Oh,
to
good,
that demographic.
good. As long as I'm way
There is-
out on that.
There is nothing about us that appeals to that demographic, I'll guarantee it. We barely appeal to our own demographic.
I mean, these are all things that I would say, but Jesus, you're just
Dude.
doing it to yourself.
I locked in my appealing with that demographic when I got married, and then I
Yeah.
went straight downhill from there.
You could be a good opportunity for babysitting, you know?
Yeah.
15, 16-year-olds, you got little kids, maybe you and the wife want to go out. That's really the only appeal you have left. Is like, maybe this guy will give me
Right.
some money to
As
watch
a,
his
as a source of
dog.
finances. Yeah. So,
Also,
This
I
is
want
sad.
to steal do 15
So-
Oh, no, it's
steal
not.
projectors a lot?
I don't know. I would hope not. But yeah, no, it's not sad because I'm not really hooking that demographic. That's not what I want.
Let's not talk about 15-year-olds hooking.
No, I would be the one hooked. Wait a minute. Okay, this doesn't work either way. You know, you're right. You were right to avoid this. It just doesn't work. It's a trap. So, you guys, on take one, you'd ask me why I had a projector in the background shooting corporate logos
you
for my
brought it up
office.
yourself. No one
So-
asked.
This
So-
is exactly here. But Brad, you be Brad and I'll be Blake, and we could reenact
Okay,
that
you guys
that
go for it.
conversation.
Yeah,
Okay.
go.
Okay, so yeah, I don't care what you're saying. Here's the story about how I got a projector. I
Right,
was
you
at the
bought it-
courtroom.
You bought it, and now it's at your house.
Oh, you'd like to think that, wouldn't you, asshole? No, here's what really happened. I went to the courtroom, and there was a guy who punched a cop. But I was like, wait,
Wait, I want
wait,
to fucking
wait
Joe,
a minute,
stop!
wait a
I gotta tell this
I know that
story.
guy.
You're fucking
Here
up my
we
story.
go.
Good. And who done it? What, they didn't bring in like a 30-year-old tube TV with a fucking VCR?
No, that's what I asked for. Okay, so I went to court.
Oh, Blake, I feel like you're not doing a good job of letting us improv.
No, you guys did it. You're done. That's all the story you know. So I'll have to take it from here. So, long story short, one of my clients is accused of punching a cop. It didn't really happen. So, and I know this guy, and I'm like, hey, he's not a violent guy. I don't see him as the kind of guy who's going to punch a cop. So I get the video from the police officer's body cam. And in that video, not only is he not punching a cop, but the cops are actually roughing him up. And afterward, the police are telling fish stories about what happened. And it's totally, none of it is true. Right? So I'm like, okay, I got to play this video. And I bring in the video on a DVD, and I'm like, hey, Judge, I need to play this. Can you bring out a TV and a DVD player? Right? And he's like, no, we don't have that here. And I said, what? You don't have a TV and a DVD player? Like, every court I've ever been to that I've had to use, they've got this. And he's like, okay, no, we don't have it. Sorry, the only one we use is for Polycom. I'm like, well, shit. Can I use that projector on your ceiling then? I'll just hook a computer to it. That'll be fine. We'll use the projector. He goes, nah, man, projector's broken. I was like, what? That's like a $5,000 projector. And he's like, yeah, broken. Doesn't work. It's like, I saw you guys using it like last month. He's like, oh, yeah, it only works for like 15 minutes. Well, what? Yeah, use 15 minutes, then it overheats. You're going to have to buy your own equipment if you want to use something. It's like, but it needs to be big enough for everybody to see it. So you're telling me I have to buy a projector that's going to shoot like that big? And he's like, yeah.
I would have asked if you could get everyone a telescope and then hold up your phone and they could just look at it.
That's kind of what...
Did you consider this?
Okay, so fast forward is kind of what happened today. So, anyway, I buy this fucking projector. And, I asked the judge, will I be able to get the lights turned off if I use this projector? And he's like, oh, no, it's a security issue. Nope, can't do that. I was like, how is it really? Are you thinking that the defendant is going to be like the lights are out and then he just runs out of the room somehow? Is that what you think is going to happen? He's like, man, anything can happen when the lights go out. It's like, I feel like that's a country song and not Logic. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, fine. So I have to now get a projector that shoots in daylight conditions, which just made the cost of the projector go through the fucking roof, right? All right, whatever. So I end up shopping for a projector that will be in HD, that is short throw, that has like lumens that are stupidly high and blah, 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 blah. Like all the material. Turns out I have to spend like $2,200 to buy this ridiculous super projector.
And that got you all the way from Plat 1 to Plat 1 promos to Diamond.
Yeah?
Woo, League of Legends is fun.
So I buy this fucking projector, and today I'm going to bring it to court because, we're going to play this video, and I'm going to cross-examine the officer and be like, you're a fucking liar. Ha ha ha. Look at the video on the projector, dickhead. I've got you. And I cannot get the projector to play off of the source that I had, which was my phone. I was going to operate the video off my phone, and the Chromecast was not picking up my phone. It wasn't working. Technical difficulties hit. I didn't have a computer handy that I could bring because I ran out of time. So I ended up going to court and playing the video on my phone. Right? And, coincidentally, after the prosecutor sees the first minute and 34 seconds of the video, in which case none of the shit they said happened, the prosecutor's like, wow, didn't look like he hit him at all. Huh. Well, he was still resisting arrest. How about we amend it down to a misdemeanor? And you guys take probation. I said, yes. This is what I was asking for months ago. What the... yeah, we'll do that. You dismiss all the other charges.
You got paid on those months.
I did, But all that money went to buying a projector that I didn't even fucking use!
So you basically got a free projector. Well, you're welcome.
Yeah, now I have a
Thanks,
projector,
legal system of America.
and it's going to be in my basement, except for maybe 5 times a year that I will bring it in to project a video on. So yeah,
Times are gonna be so sweet.
aren't they though? But yeah, it's
So,
like
so sweet.
it's pretty fucking nice. I've got the screen frame there, and I've got the cover for it over there, so we'll
And
put
you've
that
got
on.
the actual projection well outside the frame.
The real
Oh,
thing
yeah,
is
well, the frame is gonna
your
get
couch
mounted on the
faces
wall.
other way.
The frame's gonna be up a bit and mounted on the wall. It's cool. Don't worry about it. I got it.
For real. Can we fucking?
But we're going to talk about League of Legends right now because that's what's happening and that's where the kids are at.
And that's what makes good audio, and that's what we do on Lola Podcast.
Correct.
I wanted to be a part of it.
Did you just smack your table to make a gong sound? Oh, yeah. People
the
are going to
microphone
love
has
that.
springs. Dude,
That's
you
gonna
fucking
sound-
did this shit.
It's going to sound really good.
Yeah, people are going to love that on the audio. People get mad when I drink something. Like, why did you set off a gong?
To be
Blake-
fair, I opened 2 beers before the start of the show, so I wouldn't have any can noises.
That's a good man.
Blake, why is it that you and me have the most trouble of any of the hosts when it comes to actually talking about League of Legends on the League of Legends Anonymous podcast?
It's more fun to talk about other stuff, though.
That's true.
I mean,
When are we gonna-
we'll get
when's our
around to
spin-off?
League.
When's our spin-off podcast, The Smurf and the Sea Lion?
Well, I figured
Patchy.
we'd call it something like talk about whatever anonymous. We got to keep the anonymous branding, you see, so people know it's the same set.
That's not even your branding. That's
It's totally
that's
my branding.
like addiction recovery branding.
Uh-huh.
You didn't make that. You didn't make that up.
Yeah, but I
That's not
applied it.
your branding. Doesn't matter if you applied it. You didn't come up with that.
What about
Do
like
they have-
Lola's? Wait. What about like Lola's League of Legends? A side note.
That could work. That's pretty
I think
catchy.
I have no qualms. Yeah, but they never
Well,
put
that's
moose
it, that's
antlers on.
Qualm free.
They never put moose antlers on AA. We did that.
Yeah.
That's
what
our
is our
branding.
logo? I'm actually curious.
Why we have
never
moose
known-
antlers?
Anonymous.
It's the Anonymous.
Anonymous.
It's our mascot. It was from Halloween like 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was a
I
while
was
back.
I was in 5th grade 3 years ago. What do you? How would I remember that?
Yeah. So whilst you were learning grammar, we had the
Well,
for
no,
Halloween.
I
I can speak better than
144.
99% of the people in your county, Blake. Let's not go to the grammar.
Oh,
portion.
I'm not saying you could clearly speak better than 99% of my county
I
because
talk way gooder than
Because-
upwards of 80% of your county, Blake.
because you just in a sentence used a percent as a measurement, which doesn't happen around here, and spoken more than 3-syllable words. So I'm just blown away. Part of why I do the podcast is so I can articulate sentences with friends and not feel like I have to
So
be like
sad.
I actually had a guy. I had a guy say to me in elementary, I had a guy say to me, "Why do you use such big words to say things when you could just use littler words to say things?" It's like, because big words are accurate. And he's like, "See? What the fuck? Why are you saying accurate?" And I'm like, what? Accurate is a word that you're not...
Why are you using all them SAT words?
Big words are meaning more what I want to say.
Why? They
That
don't
was- that was
take...
an office
Hold
episode.
on. They don't take the SAT down here very often. You'd be like, why are you using all them ASVAB words?
Oh, is it?
You
is
gonna
it
be
an
an
ACT
officer?
State? Is it an ACT state? I
It
get
is an ACT state, yeah.
Yikes. Why would anyone take... Dude, the ACT compared to the SAT, in my recollection, the ACT is like 10 times easier,
It was, yeah.
from what I remember.
I knocked that bitch out of the park.
Yeah. Weird.
Oh, it was easy. So, anyway,
So new Ezreal's out, huh?
new Ezreal is out. By the way, I think he's going to be fucking broken.
Yeah.
So, okay, what made Ezreal... Okay, and here's the why of it. Ezreal's old W is fucking worthless. They didn't really nerf much of anything else on his kit to give him a new ability. that new ability synergizes with his E super well, in that if you hit somebody and it puts that little circle around them, and then you E, the E will target them prioritized rather than the nearest thing to you.
So,
which lets
even
Ezreal
if
be a
it
lane
didn't
bully.
do a bucket of extra damage, it would still be really good as a buff.
Sure, and on top of that, you get the mana back for your E, which is one of your most expensive spells, if you detonate that bubble with it.
I'm gonna be honest.
And you get an additional 60 mana on top of that.
I played like 2 games or 3 games that had Ezreal in them. I don't even know what his new W does.
It puts a bubble on you, and you get bonus damage for detonating it, and you get mana back.
Goes through minions, hits champions only. You get basically like a Sheen proc, like a chunk of extra damage for detonating it with a spell. E is prioritized, as Blake said. Also works on towers.
Does it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay, why is that necessary?
It's not.
It's so weird. I mean, my assumption would be that it's because he's a caster.
Well, okay,
ADCs
so
to help him keep up and pushing with the other ADCs, but I don't think it's necessary.
Well, my thought was
I
the
think
old
it's to
one
make
was
it
an
go
attack speed buff, so you could W and then E and W yourself, and then shoot towers
No one did
fast.
ever because it was stupid.
I did that. If you were alone taking a
twice.
tower, you would totally do that.
for a tower. I thought you were just saying in general. Like
No, I was saying that's why they gave him that on towers.
Proc in lane.
No, I was saying that's why they did that on towers, so you could make up for the loss of attack speed that you get for EWing yourself.
Sure.
Seems logical, I guess, but it seems like it'd be way easier to proc if you could just blast a tower.
Brah.
I think, yeah.
So
Okay, wait.
Ezreal-
Wait. I want to hear Brad's brah. Come on. Brad,
you're from the ghetto?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a
I'm a
gun.
ringleader now. I get people to do stuff. Let's go.
That was a good brah. I'm tweeting about you,
Brad.
Brah. You're trending now, brah. You're fired now,
I'm
brah.
very hungry. I have very much hunger with the food like a brat.
So,
I
all right,
have
so
no agency over my life anymore after
No.
that.
No, you don't. So
Okay.
we talked about New Israel. Like, he was a lane bully before, and I think he will be even more of one now.
Objection. The
Shoot.
optimal way to play Ezreal is to stand behind your caster creeps and last hit with Q. So you're a dumbass and a loser.
Okay. So if anybody couldn't
How
tell,
else do you stack your tier?
that was a ridiculous amount of sarcasm in what he just said. That is not optimal. Don't do that. By the way,
cowards.
By the way, you have no
I know what you
idea
are.
how often I get feedback from people that are asking me about things that I said that were dripping with sarcasm, and they're like, "Hey, I'm wondering why you said that Soraka's a really good champion and that I should play her like extra level aggressive." And I'm like, I was joking. Wasn't serious. You shouldn't play that champion anyway because she's balls. But
80% of what I say is sarcasm, so just disregard 100% of it, and you'll only be wrong 20% of the time. Think about it. Just don't listen to me. It's that simple.
yeah, okay.
And don't listen to Blake either.
Mm-hmm.
And don't listen to Brad. He doesn't know what he's doing.
So the rest of the podcast, you can kind of just phase out, play some jazz
Yeah.
music or something, and we
Just
go from
picture
there.
hamsters doing the Thriller
We had
as
our
us,
solid,
as the three of us.
we had our solid fucking 3 minutes of league content, preceded by 35 minutes of Blake talking about a goddamn projector for no reason.
That's still better than the time that me and Blake spent 18 minutes talking about Korn and the Cat in the Hat video game franchise.
Hey, we actually got a lot of feedback on Korn. You know how many people I got that texted or that wrote into the podcast? It was like, I didn't know you could microwave corn so effectively and remove all the silts. I was like, yeah, there you go.
It's the only useful piece of advice we've
I
ever
actually
given,
got-
so I'm not surprised.
I actually got more feedback on corn than I did about 60-second League of Legends tips. And I made like 300 of those. So, I don't know. I mean, I feel like we have a winning formula here. Just bullshit about whatever. So Ezreal, do you guys think it's gonna make a difference? Because like I was talking to somebody about it, and I said, I think it's gonna make you a much bigger lane bully because you can E and then detonate, or W and then detonate it with your E.
Yeah, Ezreal is just one of those champions that always gets left behind when marksman itemization gets changed because he never buys the conventional like ADC items. So to me, it's just he's one of those champions that is super largely a numbers game with him because all he does is damage. Like he's like Victor. Like if Victor does the most damage out of all the control mages, he is a good champion. If he doesn't do the most damage out of all the control mages, he is a bad champion. It's the same thing with Ezreal. If he does the most damage, he's good. If he doesn't do the most damage, he's bad because he doesn't offer anything else besides damage, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
And if the itemization, like the current itemization trends that I've been seeing with stuff like Ginsu, Stormrazor, etc., he doesn't buy any of those items. So I feel like he's been left behind in that regard.
The one thing, kind of conversely, though, is he is always a safe pick that will scale, right? Like,
True.
Even if he doesn't scale as crazy as, like a Vayne or something, like you can itemize with him differently throughout the game, whether you go, Triforce or Iceborne, and
I agree. He's just one of the worst tank
very
busting
safe.
ADCs, which kind of hurts him in his scaling.
No,
Totally
that's
fair.
accurate. So,
But I don't disagree.
But he is like King Kite.
but I did want to say, like, proccing the W with your E, it can put you at risk. So you need to make sure that you are doing that, but not throwing yourself into a position where you're unsafe. Like, you don't want to put yourself in an
stack up
engagement.
and get the fuck in there.
Well, sure, but I mean, don't, like, fly into their minion wave where you can't walk back out. Unless you're
E
going to go
forwards,
all in.
unless you're a coward.
Or,
Use your forwards.
maybe like at a 15-degree angle, right? So you're going forward, but then a little to the side. Why not?
Actually, I did
Coward.
a discussion on that with somebody the other day, and I was like, hey, why didn't you do this? And they're like, well, if I did that, I couldn't use my E as an escape. And I was like, but you could E to the side. And you dodge the skill shot, and you're still in fight range,
Murder range.
but you're not in danger. And they're like, oh. I forget, like, a lot of people, they just think, okay, so
Very north-south?
Yeah, it's like
You got-
north-south.
yeah.
I got two directions. I'm either going in or I'm going out, and there's nothing else. And I thought that was a pretty interesting, like, I mean, obviously it's nonsense. It doesn't make, like, you wouldn't think, oh, yeah, no, north-south, that's better. There's not, like, 4 cardinal directions. There's just 2. Like, nobody would think that, but yet somehow it settles in your brain as, like, just a thing, right? That is, like, a breakable habit that I don't understand why it gets
Who
that.
was this black and white two-directional player? Name names, Blake.
I agree with the Kebfelds.
God damn it. So I really need to fix that projector so these jokes stop. Anyway.
Wow. Oh, you want the joke to stop, Blake? You want to know what joke should have stopped 2 months ago? Mario goddamn Tennis. How many times are you gonna ask me to play Mario
It was
Tennis?
Mario
with you?
Baseball,
Yeah.
first of all.
Well, no.
Mario Tennis is a fantastic game.
I think so too, Brad. This dickhead told me he was going to buy Mario Tennis and then bailed on it after
said
I gave him my
said
DreamHack ticket.
Said I might buy Mario Tennis.
Yeah, with all that money I saved you, giving you my DreamHack ticket.
You weren't gonna go to DreamHack.
I might have if I had the option. If I hadn't
really?
given it to you.
You were gonna drive down to Austin from Missouri and go to DreamHack.
Well, I'll tell you
I mean,
this.
to be
You were,
fair,
no. I want you to say.
Okay.
I want you to say. I was gonna
Hold on,
abandon
hold
my
on.
wife and children and
I'm
go to
interjecting.
Austin.
Yeah.
Because if I would have known I had free DreamHack tickets, I would have gone to Austin, and Blake would have given me that ticket for free because we're actually friends.
True. And
Ouch.
I've been to his
secondly,
house.
Scathing.
Secondly, if I had a time machine and I would have known that you were going to welch on Mario Tennis, I would have gone to DreamHack just to prove a point.
Would
And
you
you
not
know that
burn
to
the
be
ticket
true.
and taken a video?
I would have shown up and be like, Hey, motherfucker.
It was an online ticket.
Yeah, it
Even
was
if
an
you burned
e-ticket.
it would do nothing.
I would have printed it out.
Yeah, burned it, and then I have
Burned
another
my
printout.
phone.
Been fully capable of printing another copy. Yeah, sorry, my guys. My 15-year-old brother, he really enjoyed DreamHack. I'm sorry that that's what your ticket went to.
Yeah.
He had a blast, but I'm sorry I
good.
don't play.
Is
Mario
he like
Tennis with you.
is he like a kid with a terminal illness or something? Is that why I gave him my
No.
ticket?
Yeah, that was his Make-A-Wish.
That was his
It
Make-A-Wish.
was for a
Very
sweaty
low bar.
30-year-old to give him his DreamHack ticket. That was his last wish.
I want a 35-year-old man to have a poor experience before I die.
Why is he British?
I don't know. It makes him more
He might have
sad.
been Austrian there.
Yeah, it wasn't quite right.
Well, it just
Anyway,
makes him
very
more of
low
like
bar for a Make-A-Wish.
more of like a sad orphan, which is what I was shooting for.
He's not an. Do I even have to explain why he's not an orphan?
I've never seen your parents. I've heard stories.
point.
Why
That's a
would
good
you have?
point. How do we know they exist?
So are we
Yeah.
both orphans in this scenario? Was he adopted? What?
I don't know, man.
Is your brother your child? What's happened here?
I'm not gonna Maury Povich up your family
I'm not
tree.
gonna say that he is, but I'm not gonna say he's not.
It's a bold stance.
It's bold fence sitting. I don't know what the fuck. It's not bold at all. He said nothing. He said nothing, Lebowski.
Right, but he did suggest that his brother that's 3 years younger than him could perhaps be his child, which means
Maybe he
he,
is.
he had
Maybe he's not.
he got
He went to a very loose daycare.
yeah.
That's what that means. Somebody's going to prison.
Dude, so can we talk about like at least one more league thing?
Yeah, we totally can. We totally can talk about League. So,
God. You're like the kid. You're like the kid at the end of class that asked the teacher why they didn't pass on any homework. That's you right now, Brad. I want you to know that.
Okay, so I want you to know two things. First of all, that's a very played out joke. Go fuck yourself. Second of all, the better thing is the kid at the end of class that asked the teacher if they're gonna collect the homework from the previous day. That's the real dickhead move.
oh, that is a dick move.
Continue fucking off.
Hey guys, I'm gonna use semantics as my argument because I can't actually think of one.
Okay, so we had somebody write into the show, and I'm actually going to put us back on track for a second. We had somebody write into the show, and they asked if we could be so kind as to do a series that focuses on each lane, what you need to do at a baseline level to improve in that, and what champions are good to pick up in learning, at the moment, in learning that lane, right? So, I think, I mean, that's a lot. It is basically said it would be like a 5-episode mini-series was the concept, right? I'm cool with doing that, but I think that I would like to start doing that. Like, I feel like we've done and beat the shit out of Jungle, right? So, like, the first things first.
Just real quick, conversely, last time I was on, someone said it's nice to have someone that plays jungle on the podcast. So there might be a little less beat the shit out of jungle recently, maybe.
Okay, we can start with Jungle. I have 2 junglers here. Seems appropriate. So, okay.
We could also finish there. But yeah, whatever. I was just saying, like, okay, continue your thought.
Okay,
I'll apologize
so
for
first
everyone.
things first.
The
If
last time I'll apologize to you ever.
I appreciate it. I have marked it on my calendar with glitter and sparkles to commemorate the occasion.
He's fast.
So, Jungle. If I'm going to start Jungle, what champions should I be looking to pick up as a jungler that I presumably would make me effective, but also don't take a million games to learn? Or should I try to pick up a million games to learn champion?
Probably Nidalee and Elise. I'd say those are the 2 most beginner-friendly champions.
So
Just
this
kidding.
is part
Don't
of the
play that
80%, right?
Don't play those
Elise,
champions.
Lee Sin,
Nidalee. What else?
probably like Ezreal jungle.
Oh Christ, Kindred, etc. Okay, don't listen to anything. Just
That
like,
was all goofs. So you go first, and then I'll tack on.
so I'm going first. I like Hecarim.
Why don't you guys do an every other? You pick one, then the other guy goes, and then you pick one, the other guy goes until you're done.
So we're talking about just to be clear, if we're making a list, is this junglers you should start on, or are we also doing kind of a tutorial or a reasoning behind why you're picking these particular?
Well,
okay,
let's
just go. We'll see where it fucking goes.
yeah. So I like.
Just shake it out.
So obviously, people would expect me to recommend Master Yi. He's kind of the stereotypical noob killer champion. I actually think he's not as beginner friendly as people think, because you actually have to know how to position and team fight as a squishy melee champion, which is never easy. You just get CC'd and blown up if you don't know what you're doing. So I would recommend Hecarim. He's tanky, his jungle clearing is simple, he has pretty solid ganks, he doesn't have any really difficult mechanics. The only one really is ulting behind people to fear them towards your team. That one's kind of difficult, and doing the same thing with your E by running right behind them and then charging them. But those are his only two really at all difficult mechanics, so I like him for those reasons. I also like that he's got pretty simple itemization, and he gets beefy really early, which is nice, because I don't think that you should really... I mean, I'm not going to say don't play squishy champions if you're a new jungler, but playing tankier champions makes your life a lot easier. So I'd pick Hecarim for those reasons. Just beware of super obvious cheese champions against you, like Lee Sin, Elise, Nidalee, Kindred, any champ, especially range junglers that are going to just walk into your jungle and try to screw with you. If you can get through your first clear safely, you'll be good.
So I would like to, if you're really trying to learn standard jungle play patterns, I would recommend Ivern.
I feel like
that was my goof. No,
yeah,
that was my
like,
goof. Yeah.
No,
I think Warwick is a fantastic start.
I like Warwick. Yeah.
You have a really healthy clear. You don't need to worry too much. Like, you scale pretty well, and you can gank adequately early. So I think one of the things that's deceptive about talking about,
because everybody wants to play an adequate champion.
No, but so one of the things that's deceptive is people think I'm the jungler, I need to gank.
Yes.
And then you pick a jungler that can gank early, right? Like a Xin Zhao or something, but you don't necessarily focus on farming. Or if your ganks go poorly early, then you're very handicapped for the rest of the game. Warwick can gank if the opportunity presents itself, but also farms really well, pretty efficiently, especially once you get Tiamat. So you have the option of either going for the more farm heavy or the more gank heavy, and you're not wrong either way. So you can kind of learn different play styles depending on how the game's going or what you want to try to do.
Well, here, let me go on champion.gg. I'm gonna look at the list of junglers by win rate, and I'm gonna do a rapid fire and say yes or no, basically.
Okay, before you do that, I have one that I want to throw into the mix. Pantheon.
Okay. Pantheon, I don't like because his clearing is weird and not that good.
Yeah. So I had considered that one, and that kind of not new Xin Zhao as much as old Xin Zhao, but that requires you to have early ganks that are successful, because you're not going to scale as well as many other junglers. And if you're new to jungling, you probably don't have like crazy, like these are the paths that people run. I know general timings. This is where wards should be at certain times, right? Like you don't have a lot of that in your head. So it's you're just kind of like, oh, there's a camp, I'm going to go kill it. Or like there's a guy, I'm going to go run after him. So,
I've never because the thing about those gank heavy champions is that if I play a gank heavy champion at low elo, it's not the same thing as you play a gank heavy champion at low elo, because I will maintain my farm. I'll actually be able to predict where the enemy champions are going to be. I'll be able to look at waves and see when gank opportunities are going to arise 30, 60, 90 seconds from now. You're not probably going to be doing any of that. You're just going to be focused on your basic mechanics, your basic pathing, and then if the opportunity arises and you see it, you're going to be able to go for a gank. You're not going to be making as many proactive plays, nor should you, because you got to focus on the fundamentals first.
Yeah,
so
you just started jungling.
So that's why I don't like Pantheon for that reason. Even though he's technically
You're just
simple
saying he's
mechanically.
too gank reliant.
He's
right?
too game knowledge heavy, yeah.
Okay.
Because
so here was my thinking of rationale as to why it might be good, right? Point and click stun, front loaded damage on Q, and good burst. So whenever you go in to fight, you can just beat the shit out of somebody, and his gank assist is very high, right?
Yeah.
And then also his clear is pretty healthy because his Aegis shield blocks so much damage from.
It's not as healthy as you'd think. I've played it a few times. It's not awful, but you can lose a lot of health to the minions.
Also for the sake of this conversation, are we assuming if you're a new jungler, you're probably like if
Making
you're
mistakes
totally,
with your clearing.
Also, if you're totally unfamiliar with jungle, you're probably bronze or silver, right?
Right.
Like,
Or you have basic familiarity, but you haven't gotten enough skills to climb yet.
well, so like if we're saying you're a gold plat plus player, you probably have at least a general idea of what normal jungle paths are because you've dealt with those in lanes and shit. Whereas bronze, silver, it's totally all over the place.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more variety. So that's why I think I've kind of strayed away from like these are the easiest of champs to play, and more so going towards these are people that can farm well and be influential early as well. Like I think a good example of one that is good and is pretty good in higher elo right now, but like I don't personally think Amumu is a good low-level jungler.
I would agree for the most part.
Because if people are all up in your mix, you really, the first few levels, you're not going to be able to do much against it.
But do you see a lot of like invade in silver? You see a lot of people doing that?
I don't think it happens a lot. I mean, I think Amumu's okay at low elo. He wouldn't be one of my first picks for tanks. But I think he works better at low elo. I think he can work fine at low elo, but he wouldn't be my top recommendation.
Your team's not warding for you.
Yeah. If you play against an aggressive player, even if they're just monkeying out on the keyboard and running at you, you're still gonna die to it, and you're not gonna know how to get back into the game.
And that's a big thing that I've seen is like people see an Amumu or someone that they know can't really fight early, and they're just like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to go run to their jungle, and I don't know, if I find him, that's great.
Well, I mean, I see what you guys are saying, but I feel like there's a disconnect here between, like, where you're at and what's happening in bronze. Because I
think it's 75% of the time you'll be fine, and nothing will happen, and you'll be a good tank. And then, like, maybe even less, maybe like 85% of the time. And then that 15% of the time, you're just going to get smashed, and you're not going to know what to do. So...
Yeah. But I would still probably trade the 15% for the 85.
Because again, he's not bad. But why play Amumu when you can play Udyr? You know,
because Amumu has an AOE wide
Sejuani would be the better version of Amumu. Right?
Yeah, I like Sejuani more. She's a little bit more mechanical, but not much.
Yeah, well, and
her skill shot is easier.
You can stun from range if you miss your you can't really miss your ult on Seju. You at least get a slow. Whereas on Amumu, if you don't have flash up and you miss your Q, guess who's not in the fight now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just.
Anyway, let me do rapid fire.
Because I'm arguing about the difficulties of playing Amumu, which I never thought I would do.
All right, I'm gonna go through the list. There's 40 champions on this list. I'm just gonna run through them.
So here's what I'd like you to do, because I know you have this. You're gonna go through and you're gonna say yes or no.
Yeah. You can also say.
Yeah. I want you to say the champion's name, and then we each say yes or no.
Yes, that's what I wanted to do.
Okay, so you, me, Blake.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so, and this is just going by the their win percents in Platinum Plus off of Champion.gg. That's the order they're in. I'm not making any value judgments based on that. That's just what order they're in. So, number 1, Udyr, absolutely one of my top picks.
And are we saying we're still considering this like bronze, silver players learning jungle?
Yeah. This is This is around beginners. Did you want to also say yours, Blake?
Yeah, I think Udyr's a good pick. I don't think there's a problem.
Number 2, Rammus. Pretty solid. Again, not one of my favorites, but I like him.
I don't like him, but yes. Especially
So,
if it's
hold on,
an
real
all
quick.
AD team. Especially if it's an all AD team, it's a great pick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think Rammus is great. I actually think even if there's like a couple of AP threats, you can still roll Rammus and lower elo, and that's fine.
Basically, everything I said
However,
about Amumu applies to him.
if you go to sort your stuff by highest win rate in silver, which I think you should probably do if you're going to go rapid fire through the list,
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, sure, we can do that.
it changes everything. And the top pick is Amumu, and then Jax, and then Udyr and Rammus.
Jax was my third suggestion that I was going to
Yeah,
bring up.
I like Jax too. All right, we'll go by silver.
Okay.
So I get why Amumu is good. I feel like if you really if you get auto-filled jungle and you don't plan on learning jungle, go Amumu. But if you want to learn jungle, then I feel like you want to learn with someone that has more ability to have impact early.
And he's got a 2.7 play percent, which isn't crazy low, but it's also not high at all. You
There's
know,
like 3 silver players just one-tricking Amumu.
let's go, man. Yeah,
They play
all the way
5
from like
Vape.
mid silver 3 to like silver 1 promos, probably. Probably
I
just
get it.
run a Mumu through that.
Dude, that's how you climb.
All right. I'm gonna go for real. We're gonna rapid fire. Amumu, we already said. Jax, yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Rammus, we already talked about.
Yeah.
Nocturne,
That was on my list.
I don't like him.
The
I
thing
don't.
with
I wouldn't
Nocturne-
pick Nocturne.
Yeah, so reason being, that's a very much map awareness champion. If you're diving on someone, where's everybody else? And you don't know. So I would say no on Nocturne.
Udyr, we already said.
Hold on, I'm going to add one more thing to Nocturne. Also, he only has 2 abilities in silver because nobody uses his spell shield in the short time window in which you actually have it.
Yes.
So that is if you're going to devote time to being really good at Nocturne, cool. But if you don't, you're probably not going to use his spell shield properly, and it is a huge part of his kit.
Shyvana, yes. I like
Yep.
her. Another good
I think
just AFK farm jungler.
Yeah, I think she's an AFK farm jungler. I think she scales like stupidly well and gets to a point in the game where you can't kill her and she can kill everybody.
And in terms of the speed clearing of AFK farm junglers, she might be number 1. It's fucking fast.
I feel like she's like the Nasus of the jungle, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I could see it. Yeah, basically like not scary, not scary, not scary. Oh, fuck me.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that for the most part. Next is Vi. As far as
kind
bruiser
of
champions
agree.
go, I like her. I like her more than most other bruisers.
Really,
Yeah.
I feel like she's pretty hard to play though.
Her
Like-
ult is really good in the elo where nobody buys GA and nobody ever presses Zanya's. I'll just say that.
What's a QSS?
Exactly. Like, she's one of the champions that, yes, you'll be worse at her playing her at low elo, but your opponents will also be really bad at playing against her. So
Also,
I think it
fun
evens
fact,
out.
you cannot Q flash on Vi. You
Yeah.
must flash Q.
There's like a weird way that I think you can, but I don't know what it is.
You definitely can. I tried.
I've seen people
I went
do
into
it.
practice mode and tried it. You have to. Well, you can charge Q and then flash and let go of it instantly.
No, that I know how to do. I've seen people like high elo
can't, like,
junglers do
taunt
some weird
Shen.
variation of it though.
Well, I would love. I'm gonna Google.
Maybe it's gone now, but I remember seeing it when I
was
thought
at
it was
one
gone.
point for sure.
No,
like,
I know
a
there
couple
used to
years
be,
ago, but
This was like
yeah.
after they patched it. I saw people still doing it, and I was really confused. But
Oh,
anyways,
shit.
that doesn't matter.
But but no, Vi. So you can build like pretty like like a similar to like a Lee Sin build, right? Or like maybe you go warrior into Sheen item, and then tank, and you'll do a decent chunk of damage. Vi, I think, is a good pick. Maybe not your first pick, but maybe you're like, I've played 15 games of jungle on something simple, and I want a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah. All right. Next one is Wukong. I like
No.
Wukong if you can figure out his clear.
Yeah,
Actually.
I say no if you're just starting jungle. Like,
Yeah, he
it
would.
was
He definitely
very-
wouldn't be my top pick, but he's really good once you get him going. So, not
Yeah.
terrible.
Clear is tricky.
But if you watch someone if you really study how high elo players clear with Wukong, I could see it working. But if you don't know his clear patterns, you're just going to get mauled by the jungle and lose. So that's kind of the...
Like back at level 2.
Exactly. Blake? Wukong?
No.
All right.
No,
Echo.
okay, so 1 second. No, and the reasoning behind is because he is too reliant on his W to be really good. Like, that's what distinguishes him as a champion from other champions that do similar things, like Xin Zhao.
So are you saying too reliant in terms of interacting with other champions, or too reliant in terms of just jungle, like just clearing your jungle?
Not clearing your jungle, interacting with champions.
I think he's actually better in that regard because people aren't cognizant of his W and lower elos. You know?
Well, I mean, you
They're
do
not thinking about it.
get really good ganks from that, but you don't have any like gank assist. You just have burst. And
Oh, sure.
so
Yeah,
pre
that's-
6, after 6, you get gank assist. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't think his ganks are great unless you have independent CC in your lanes, and without that, it's pretty meh until 6, and you have to use your W to sneak in. And if you get, like, how tricky you can be with the W is what makes you good at Wukong or bad at Wukong, right? And so anything that, like, requires trickiness, I don't think is a good champion for lower elo, which I'm going to throw this out there. Shaco is on my list at a 50% win rate in silver.
For good.
And what do you guys think of Shaco? My answer is fuck no.
Fuck no.
Okay. I thought you were saying he's on your list for yes, and I was like, oh,
Yeah, that's what
absolutely.
I thought.
No,
But
I'm saying
he's lower down on my
he's
list.
on he's on
No.
my list of like
No, dear
junglers
God, no.
in silver.
Yeah. Oh,
Not
no,
he's
no,
on
no.
my list.
So this happened to me
Reason-
in Diamond yesterday, or a few days ago. I had a Shaco on my team. He was starting red buff. We were on purple team, and I was top lane. He places one box at the red buff, and then he places 2 boxes at his the
Krugs.
Krugs.
That's how I Will Dominate suggested.
Yeah. Thanks, I will dominate. Yeah. Diamond 5 Shaco, who doesn't even play Shaco, he's a support main, definitely knows how to do that without resetting the camp, except he reset the camp and made me like 8 seconds late to lane. So, no Shaco. Bad. Do not play Shaco for the love of
A
Christ.
couple of reasons. One, Shaco is very much a what the fuck is going on the map? I need to know it, champ.
Yes.
Right? To be in the right place and make the right decisions. 2, mechanically, wildly difficult to backstab your jungle camps over and over, just in terms of micro.
You're going to clear so much slower than
Yeah.
top players.
Yeah, like you won't clear like Dom would or like whoever
No.
the fuck else. Number 3, controlling a clone is not easy.
No.
Like just paying attention to your right clicks versus your control right clicks, and it's unless and just to reiterate a thing that we've said a million times on this show, if you want to commit 200 games to any champion, you can play any champion. At
Well,
least to an
I will tell
adequate
you
level.
I will
But-
tell you this. This is a champion that gets terrifying if you main him. And by main him, I do mean commit like your 200 games. If you don't, you're shit with this champion. Like, it's all or nothing. There's no like, I'm an okay Shaco. No one will ever say that. You are a terrifying Shaco or a garbage Shaco, and somewhere along the line you flip a switch from one to the other.
Yeah, it's like how to phrase this? Like a ski jump, right? Where it's like shit, great,
Woo!
and you fly off into the fucking elo heavens. But that's not like I am the king of I like to play difficult champs. That's not one for you if you want to play 15 games. Like, you gotta commit.
You know, interestingly enough, I am looking at this list for, like, I went to u.gg to pull up my list for silver because I feel like it is quicker. And Lee Sin is number 34 on that list.
Big surprise.
Rank D, and 47% win rate with a 16% pick rate and a 13% ban rate.
That's my one trick. That's where I live.
So
were you still talking about Shaco?
yeah, no, we finished. Basically, my point on Shaco was if you're not going to main the fuck out of Shaco, never play him because there's two types of Shacos: terrifying monster clown and clowned dumbass idiot that doesn't do anything in the game.
Then I basically said the instead of a bell curve, it's like a ski slope where you're terrible, 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 terrible. Woo!
Yeah.
Up into the ether.
Yeah, that's pretty true. All right, next Echo. Hell no, don't even try
Are
it.
we gonna hit that Lee Sin real quick?
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
were
gonna
we?
hit Lee Sin. Yeah, I skipped
just
down
kidding.
to the bottom because Brad was talking about. I thought it fit well with the Shaco talk.
Oh
It's
sure.
the same kind
general
of
premise.
concept. Brad, shoot! That's your champ. Talk about him.
Oh yeah, no. Very fun to play, right? Kind of like Shaco, but not easy. And you gotta, if you want to play Lee Sin, especially when you're lower elo like me, you gotta put in the games. So like last season, I played Lee Sin a decent chunk, but I didn't necessarily put in the games. I think I had like 30 or 40 over the course of the season. And I was like, I have a 40% win rate. Wow, not doing this.
You can look at the Ponderous Sea Lion, season 3, I think it was. I had Lee Sin was my most played champion with a sub 50 win rate. So.
Well, yeah, so then this season I was like, I'm going to main Lee Sin, and I bumped that up to like a 59% win rate. But I have like 140 games on the guy just this season, and it's been my favorite champ for like 2 or 3 years. So it's a repetition thing because you need the muscle memory to like, there's a Viger box in front of me, and I landed a Q on Viger, so I need to ward hop and then follow the Q to go around the shit. Like, it's just stuff that's not going to, you're not going to get it in game 1. You're not going to get it in game 10. And if you do, then you're a fucking savant, and you should be counting toothpicks on a floor in a movie with Tom Cruise.
That's something productive that you could do with your time instead of. Even that's more productive than playing League of Legends.
So wait a minute. Did you honestly think that kids these days were going to get a Rain Man reference, Brad?
Oh, wait, am I doing this for the audience or for me?
Yeah. No, we're trying to appeal to that demographic.
I know it was a Rain
You
Man.
told me my demographic was 25
Nah.
to like 38.
Ponderous is getting old. So we got to we got to reach out.
I'm not reaching out to children. No, sir.
One of the biggest
Or
fans of League
madam.
of
I don't want to
Legends
assume
radio.
your gender is.
You're getting better.
Bad
You're
joke.
already getting better.
Bad joke. Yikes.
Was it a joke? I was being sincere.
Anyways, yeah, you probably shouldn't play Lee Sin, but I mean, if you want to,
Me?
what? No, them. No, your Lee Sin's actually
No.
surprisingly good.
The only thing I can do. No, but no, I do agree. Like that, there are a few champs we've talked about in a bunch of different roles, and I just briefly moving away from jungle. We've talked about Azir, Zed.
Christ, don't play Azir. Please don't play Azir.
Those are champs. If you want to play them, go play normals for 150 games,
Yep.
and then take them to rank. Like,
Aurelian Soul. That's another
yeah,
one.
that's a really good one. Weird mechanics, difficult to kind of pin down. Doesn't seem hard when you look at
Brainless macro though. Like the way that you play the game as Aurelian Soul is super brainless if you know how to do it. But the actual like movement and stuff is kind of hard.
manipulating your champion to dodge skill shots while also landing your W is hard.
Yes.
So what we're gonna have is Lee Sin, Shaco. I actually think Master Yi kind of fits into this category a little.
Haha, Master Yi's so easy though. Why would you say that?
I think they fall into the category of champions that you
Yeah,
gotta
I
play them
agree.
a bunch to play them properly.
Oh, I thought you
Yeah.
were saying champions that only an asshole would play.
Isn't Thresh like the #1 asshole player champion?
Nah.
You met a Yasuo, man.
I don't have a good answer to that except nah.
Dude, I
Probably
feel like
not.
Thresh players, and this is actually not a
No,
Thinly
it's
Veiled
Draven-
thing too, but like they're
Draven
so.
and Draven and Ribbon.
I can agree with that.
That's got to be like like the subset of the Venn diagram on the side of like most cockish players, and Draven, Riven, Yasuo has to be in there. You can't leave Yasuo players out of that mix.
Okay, that's fair.
What about Heathcliff, my boy from the Discord? He's
Yeah,
pretty chill.
You realize that there are exceptions.
No,
Rules.
I know one nice Yasuo player, so they're all nice.
Therefore, all
That's
of
how it
them-
works. That's how
Yeah.
that's how statistics work.
Oh boy, anecdotal.
Anecdotal to the max.
And most exceptions are big orange cats. That's what Heathcliff is a big orange cat. God damn it, Ponderous. How old are you?
No, I got it. I wanted to keep it going.
All I was thinking of was Garfield. That's all I could think of.
Yeah,
Heathcliff was
Heathcliff is
also
Garfield
an orange cat.
before Garfield was Garfield, I think. Garfield's
Before
like a
Garfield
Heathcliff
hated-
knockoff.
What, in like the 1970s?
Yeah!
Probably.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Oh, I'm
That's
sorry
correct.
that I'm not up to date on my 1970s comic
I
lore.
mean, for the record, neither Blake nor I were alive in the 70s.
That's also true.
We just
Moving on.
I don't know. We pay
Echo.
attention to history
Yeah, Michael.
because we care.
Because we know things.
I'm a millennial, and knowing things is definitely
I'm
not
a
something that I.
fucking millennial.
Yeah, fucking Google it.
I'm pretty sure I'm Gen Z. So, but I just call myself a millennial because that's what Blake likes to make fun of. So it makes the whole dynamic work, you know.
Did you just like I'm running for state senate, 2 thumbs up. Like,
No.
I have a weird hat on like this.
So,
Whenever you do run for state senate, that's the attack. That's the picture from the attack ad that your opponent uses.
like me recording
Pitching
this
right there.
podcast going,
Yeah.
they don't even really need to play an attack ad. They can just play the podcast. It'll pretty
Alright,
much kill
so-
any of my political ambitions.
So Echo, I say no.
Echo, hell no.
Agreed.
All right, don't need to say anything. Just don't play Echo Jungle. Graves, I say no. He's got a lot of weird mechanics. I don't like it for low elo.
Difficult farming.
Yeah.
Not early, not late. Early, like kiting camp. Yeah, no.
Yeah. I don't like ranged junglers for low elo players at all. Unless you're coming from maybe 80 carry and like transitioning to jungle, but even then I don't like
Even
it.
The reload mechanic feels funky.
Yeah, it takes a lot of games to get used to. Poppy, don't like it. I think it's too. I think it's not good enough at what it does for it to be worth your time.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, I don't think it's awful, but
I'm
I
very much like thumb right here in the middle. Like,
yeah, that's basically how
All
I feel about
right.
it.
Having played a lot of Poppy support,
Which
it
I think is actually pretty good.
Poppy support is really good. It's actually hugely dependent on getting a wall smash. If you can get a wall smash, then it's great. If you can't, then it's shit because you don't
Yes.
really do anything. So the catch is how you gank can largely impact whether you will get that wall slam. And it's that kind of like approach awareness and forcing someone into a position with your movement. That is not something that happens in like lower elo. You just run in, right?
right. But the
So-
nice part, reasonably tanky, deceptively tanky,
Very
And-
tanky.
reasonably healthy clears, especially with your pass.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like if you want to do it, do it.
Moving down the list, Volibear, definitely. I like it a lot. for low elo
Absolutely,
players.
2 thumbs up.
Yep.
Good
Volibear,
to
brain
it.
dead, run at people, flip them, E them, etc.
Buy
You know how
items
the
that
drill
give you
goes.
health, do all the damage.
By the way, buy items with Volibear that increase your move speed when running towards champions. It's worth it.
And increase your health.
Mm-hmm.
Duh.
It's like perfect fit. Just buy
Yep.
that, and it makes your engage a ton better.
Okay, moving on. Kane, no. Super weird clears, don't like it at all. You got it.
I
Like,
shook my
Kane is-
head. No.
Kane is one of those champions that, like, so many of, like, he's just one of, like, 8 or 9 junglers that play in a very distinct way. Like, you play Volibear roughly the same way as you play Rammus, or as you play even, like Poppy or Warwick or Jarvan. Like,
Udyr.
those champions all play roughly the same. Yeah, or Udyr. They play roughly the same way. Kane is one that plays completely different than every other champion. Same deal as Shaco. Play a bunch of games if you really want to. That's
so, like,
it.
I've been picking him up as my second to Lee Sin because I like the get in, get out options.
Yeah.
But, again, hundreds of games.
Next is Master Yi. So I'll obviously
Big
take the
thumbs
floor on
down.
this one. I actually agree. I don't like Master Yi for low elo junglers. And if you want to think that's like some weird saving face, I actually play a difficult champion. No, I actually think that low elo players are god awful at Master Yi, and they don't know how to play him.
Let me retort. I think for new junglers, which was the initial talking point, no Master Yi. For low elo players, if you're in low elo but you play jungle a bunch and you're like, I'm really having trouble carrying the games, as the Sejuani or as the person that does Amumu or whatever that doesn't do a ton of damage. Be like, I'm reading the jungle routes okay, like I'm getting a handle on things. And then I think Master Yi might be a good call, because if you're farming well and you're picking your spots, great. But for the first, if it's your first 20 games jungling Master Yi, no go. But I think Master Yi is a good low elo jungler to transition to once you've played a few games.
I don't think
Once you've
he
played
is.
a big chunk of games.
I
Because
disagree.
I think that Jax, Udyr, and Shyvana all play very similarly, are all
I think they're all better.
and are all better.
I agree.
I just think that Master Yi has so many difficult mechanics with his Q and his W that require so much situational awareness that low elo players don't have. That's the reason why he doesn't make it onto my list, because the situational awareness that's required.
All right,
And
I can just. I'm going to take
limits.
over right here. So here's the difference in what you're looking at with Master Yi, high elo, low elo, right? In low elo, you try to use your Q to do the most possible damage. Like, that's how you're going to do damage. And if you don't kill everybody with your Q, you're probably going to get blown up.
Wait,
In
it's
higher
just
elo-
a gap closer?
In higher elo, you don't even use it as a gap closer. You use it to dodge skill shots. You use your ult as the gap closer, right? And because it makes you untargetable. So you use it more like Fizz's E.
Slowable. Oh,
Huh?
you're saying your Q.
Q,
Sorry,
yeah.
I thought you were saying your ult makes you unslowable.
No, your ult makes you unslowable. I'm talking about you go
Bad
untargetable.
ability, but yes.
So, like, you use it more like Fizz would use his playful trickster than you use it to gap close, or you use it to
you
whatever.
Use that to wave clear?
Yeah, I mean, you can. It can do that. But
Also, I encounter an alpha strike bug in literally over 60% of the games I play on this champion. So just to save yourself that aggravation of dying while untargetable, don't even bother. It's awful.
So, I mean, the difference is, like, a Master Yi in high elo will do predominantly most of his damage from autos.
Yeah.
A Master Yi in low elo will do most of his damage through Q. And
Yes.
he's not a good enough champion to rely on that as a source of solo damage.
Just if you want to play Master Yi, just play Jax, Udyr, or Shyvana. They all do the same thing but way better, and they get tankier, and they have better consistent damage.
Also, if you play any of them and you start climbing, please don't play Jax anymore. I don't want them in my games.
Play Jax. Anyways, moving on. Jarvan 4. I give him another middle thumb. Similar to Poppy. I think he can work. I like him a lot, but people don't know how to build him situationally, which is important for that champion, because he's got a lot of different builds that you can run that are good in different scenarios.
So, this guy, there's a champion on Heroes of the Storm. And Brad, you're going to have to help me out because we played Heroes together. The guy who has the two swords, and you can build him like assassin or like tank, and he has like a spin thing. He's like
Drapion. That's a Pokemon.
Alexander. Not that one. No, it's sort of like a V or something.
Two sword guy.
Yeah, he was like the king of the alliance. That's who he was. And I
Someone
can't
who's played
remember
Heroes
what
is
his
like
name.
screaming the answer at their phone
Dude,
right
we got
now.
Nothing for you, buddy.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll look it up while I'm talking. But that guy, like, he is super versatile. You can build him like an assassin where he does a whole bunch of damage, or you build him as though he's just like a really good tank, right? And depending on what your team needs, that's how you're going to build him.
Wait, are you talking about my main?
Who's your main?
The guy that does the swaps?
No, not swap guy. This is the guy that I like to play when you played swap guy.
I know who you're talking about.
Artanis was the swap guy.
Yeah, but sometimes your guy had 2 swords, sometimes he had 1 sword.
Right.
Isn't it dependent on the build?
Yeah. And I also like to play the Butcher, but that was for an entirely different reason.
Who was the other guy that played?
I played Zeratul was my other guy, and Kerrigan. But anyway, Jesus
Didn't we
Christ, who
duo
was
a
it?
guy and we went?
Oh yeah, the guy with the 2 heads,
Yeah.
the ogre. Every time, that's the only sound effect that fucker makes.
Yeah, I made that sound effect. Anyways, just continue your thought.
Yeah. Okay. So
Situational
again,
building is important because
yeah, that guy can literally do everything. And with Jarvan, it's like sometimes you're going to want to go assassin build Jarvan. Sometimes tank build Jarvan is super important. And
Yeah.
you have to be able to like recognize the situations in which those things become important
and adjust on
and
the
adjust
fly.
on the fly.
And you have to be able to
Cho'Gall!
land your EQ.
That's the motherfucker. Cho'Gall. 2
Yeah, that
heads.
was
You also have to know how to land your EQ, which is
Varian!
effectively weird.
That's the guy's name. It was Varian.
Yeah, there
That
you
was
go. Got
the
there. You
king
got
of the
there.
alliance.
But
Got
yeah,
there.
landing your EQ is weird, especially if you want to incorporate like being particularly good at Jarvan, which is your EQ flash.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that one's weird. Like Shen and Gragas's E flashes are both easy for me, but Jarvan's I could never get the hang of because it's
it's in,
weird.
like a weird shape, kind of.
Yeah, it's a weird hitbox. But yeah, I would say Jarvan, distinct middle thumb, as Brad put it. You guys
give it
agree?
the side thumb. The hitchhiker. No, it's not quite a hitchhiker thumb. Yeah, I give it the side thumb. I think.
All right.
I think what's going to be difficult is from here on in, we're mostly going to say no, right? Because we've got
Yeah,
past
why don't
the
I look?
super-
Why don't I look down the list and see if there's any more that I like?
Yeah,
Uh,
I think
can I-
that's
can
the
I-
better.
All right, we're not going to do commentary on the rest of these.
Right. Well, that's kind of
Uh,
why I argued for Master E, because I was like,
Yeah.
of the rest, this
Right.
isn't the worst one.
Yeah. So Tryndamere, no, he's got weird
No.
clears. Elise, no,
No.
definitely not.
Big
Fiddlesticks,
hard no.
Fiddlesticks, no. I would say no.
That's one if you want to play a ton of games.
Yeah, and of all the mage supports, he is probably the easiest. So there's that, but
Well,
still
we're
no.
talking jungle, not support.
Yeah,
I'm
or mage jungles.
of
but
the
that's what I
remaining
meant.
ones. I'm kind of curious as to 2, because the rest of them are
Hit us
pretty
with
much
those
meh.
two, and we'll just,
Yeah, there's a few I see.
Evelyn, what do you think?
No, weird.
Okay, and see, I thought you were gonna say that, but the stealth aspect of it.
So that's one that's been sticking out to me that I've been wanting to learn for like 2 months, and I just never. I didn't want to commit the games.
Yeah, if you're a
I
good
think-
mechanical player, it can work. But if you're in silver, you're probably not. Sorry.
Right. But that's a gotta play 50 games to really get this champ.
Yeah,
And
Not as high of a skill cap as like, definitely not in the realm of like Lee Sin or Elise or Nidalee, but still
close.
not an easy champion. I would say
Yeah, it's
not one of the hardest.
and kind of in a similar realm to Kane, where you don't
Yeah.
technically evolve, but you evolve. Your champ changes at level 6.
Yes,
You're doing something totally different. You're invisible.
definitely.
now.
Okay.
All right.
Nunu and Willump.
Hell no. Definitely not.
All right. You got 2 more. Olaf.
No. Weird.
Why not?
Weird champion. You gotta land your skill shots. You gotta land a lot of your skill shots. His jungle clearing is weird with how you have to manage your HP to stay at a certain threshold to get the bonus attack speed. It's just too much
So
thinking.
counterpoint.
He also scales into dog shit.
Managing your HP to stay at a certain threshold is important at higher elo. Lower elo, you can just stay as full as you want and clear a little slower, and you're not getting punished for clearing slow.
I just don't like how skill shot reliant he is. Like, if you miss your Q, you are not a champion. And if you miss, like, one Q in a string of, like, 5 Qs, you can still be not a champion. And
That's
after
fair,
a certain
agree.
point, you have no scaling whatsoever. So I don't like him.
I actually think in low elo, Olaf is a better laner than jungler.
Yeah, I can actually see that. I don't disagree with that.
Gragas.
No. Way too hard to play competently.
If you play him full tank?
Even so, you have to know your E-Flash combo. You have to know your E-Flash combo, and you have to be consistent with it, and that's going to take a lot of games. So I don't like him for that reason.
E-Flash?
E-Flash
Yeah.
is so
Yeah, it's
critical on
super
Gragas.
important.
No,
Gragas.
no. I'm not disagreeing that that's important. You can learn that in 5 games.
No, you can learn how it works in 5 games, but you're not going to be consistent with
to
it.
the point. Okay.
No,
I mean,
you're
there
not.
are hold on. There's a lot of times that I will.
It could be that that's just one that made sense to me and it worked. And
Well, I
I'm not-
think that's
Oh,
kind of like
no.
a Lee Sin carryover or like a Jarvan carryover. There's like a lot of stuff that you'll incorporate Flash heavily with mechanical things that you do. Like Lee Sin, the reason I say Lee
But-
Sin carryover is you flash ult or ult
But see,
flash.
Brad, you're just thinking of a scenario in which this guy is in an empty lane, and he's exactly one full E and then one full flash length apart. That's
Oh, no.
very rarely when you're landing them, you know?
You can E and then like flash on top of them, and
But
I
like if
take
you're
it
trying
in-
to do it in a minion wave, it's got a deceptively wide hitbox, so you might just E the minions if you haven't played enough games to know the hitbox exactly.
You're right, and that's what I was saying. And kind of like Blake was saying, this has some Lee Sin carryover. First of all, Blake, it's alt flash, not flash alt. Get your facts straight.
Well, that's what I said after because I
Eight
realized what I
spells.
had done. So
All right, well, get better. Maybe tomorrow you'll do better. And then the other thing is, that's what I was saying. Like there is some carryover. So, you know, after spending 300 games trying to kick flash as Lee Sin, like E flashing as Gragas, I was like, oh, I just have to hit E and then click on them with my
Yeah.
flash.
Of
So,
all the
yeah,
tanks,
I take your
yeah.
meaning. I was
Of
thinking,
all the tanks you could play, why play Gragas?
all
He's
right,
one of the more complex tanks.
carryover. Zach. Zach actually has a lower win rate than Lee Sin.
Actually,
in
I don't like
silver.
Zach purely because his ult is weird. I don't like him for that reason because low elo players don't know his ult.
Zach was my highest win rate champion for 2 seasons because I thought he was fantastic and sneakily good top lane until he got
Old
changed.
Zach, 100% recommend. After
Yeah.
the rework, no, I don't like
New
it.
Zach, I don't like, and every time I've had him on my team, he's randomly brought a tank to the squishies.
Yeah, I don't like.
Because
To me, it's the
you're-
same as it's kind of like a Nivea's wall. If you don't know how to use a Nivea's or even Lee Sin's kick, like if you're not kicking the right targets or walling correctly,
Right.
you're just going to create hell for your teammates.
I
So
mean,
I don't
Zach-
like Zach for that reason.
Yeah, I mean, Blake, you've seen me play hundreds of Zach games. Maybe not seen me, but I have played quite a few, and you've been in quite a few of them. And I loved that champion, and then they changed him, and now it's
Yeah,
it's very much you can fuck your team over quickly with that with him.
yeah. So Xin Zhao, I kind of like. I think he's pretty good for what he does, and he's simple enough at low elo and
Oh, wait.
face rolly enough at low elo that it works.
Let me roll back to Zach for 1 second.
Okay.
This is a personal thing that I have. I prefer to not play champions that when you do something terribly wrong, your team's gonna flame you.
So why do you play Lee Sin?
Because
Yeah.
I never do anything wrong.
Yeah.
No. I'm trying to think of a good example because there was someone that I wanted to play the other day, and like Twisted Fate's a good example. You pull a blue card instead of a gold card, and everyone's
Or
like,
Orianna,
"Dude,
you-
nice blue card, you fuck."
Or you sombrero yourself as Oriana?
Right. And that stuff was like, well, it's not my fault. You fucking flashed out of my range tank that was going in. Like, but people are going to talk shit. And Zach is a very easy one to be shit upon for.
Bard.
So, like, if you're brand new at jungle, like maybe choose something that they're not going to be like, why did you ruin the game, you dude?
Yeah, like Bard has a doesn't even matter how good your ult is. It has a 15% chance of fucking up everything no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, you got to be
Last
aware
time
of
I
that.
played with a Bard, I landed a Q as Lee Sin and then got Bard ulted and was very sad.
Like I said, even if it's a good ult at the time, it doesn't like. There's like a 15% chance that something will just be totally fucked as a result of it.
Well, because
you
it's
know?
got a significant like travel time.
From
Things,
here
the game
to
state
there.
changes
Yeah.
in 2 seconds. You know.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Yeah, you're throwing like a Hail Mary.
Xin Zhao I like, honestly.
I think it's good.
I
Yeah.
think he's simple enough. His skill shot's not crazy important to land, and it's not crazy thin either, so it's pretty simple.
I mean,
He's
I
got
don't.
a good targeted dash, good
Healthy,
knockup.
healthy.
I feel
player.
like he's a better Wukong.
Yeah.
I think he is the same as Pantheon. And I
Not at low elo. Better at low elo, for
Okay.
sure. Much better than Pantheon at low elo.
okay, fair. And
And,
I think
ult
he's
gets
Pantheon
much.
with a better ult for team fighting. So
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I think
Um,
he passes.
Skarner is one that I personally like to see low elo players pick because he is so simple to play. He's super healthy on his clears. Low elo players
Whenever you said he is,
underestimate his damage.
whenever you said he is so simple, I just went to like mildly retarded. It's
I mean-
like where my
I mean,
head's
yeah.
going.
Jack, are you
Like,
watching?
yeah,
Thunder
like
on-
simple Jack
Thunder in the
is
background?
what I was
love-
thinking of. Like,
Makes my
uh.
brain. The enemy jungler taking my jungle camps makes my eyes rain.
Makes my
I
eyes
love that movie.
Oh God.
I like Skarner though. What do you guys think?
So, I that was one of those like I'm gonna learn to play this champ, and I played about 5 games, and I was like, huh, it's really annoying fighting for these shrines all the time. Also, people buy
You don't-
QSS.
You don't like the new Super Mario Party game, Legend of the League of Legends minigame?
No, it's
My-
weird.
My favorite
Yeah.
aspect.
Yeah, I think Skarner's good. I don't like the shrine thing, and
Yeah, but that's just kind of personal preference. It's just annoying for everyone at every
Right.
elo,
right.
which I agree with you on that.
Like
But
I don't like to have a Skarner in my game, regardless
Yes.
of who is playing them.
I pretty much
It's
agree
just
with that. but-
obnoxious. And then, also, like, your main thing is countered by one item that is not. I mean, it's expensive, but it's not that expensive.
Yeah.
Like, everyone in the game could have the item to make you do nothing. So you have to make an impact early, or else.
You know what's one that we haven't talked about that I actually like a lot
What?
Cho'Gath.
is Trundle.
Ooh, fair.
I like Trundle a lot for low elo players. He's got surprisingly healthy clears. I always come out without having to use any potions. You can just start Rejuve Beat if you want.
And good sound effects.
Good sound effects, good voiceover. His ult is really, really nice against tanks. His Q is an auto reset that's really nice. He's got really solid ganks with his E. You have to practice hitting it a little bit, but it's not crazy difficult as long as you're not like using it in super duper precise ways. So I like Trundle a lot. He'd be one of my
Yeah,
recommendations.
that's a good call.
But other than that, the only ones I see that we really need to talk about, Kindred, don't even think about it. Please, for the love of God, no Kindred. Kha'Zix, I wouldn't recommend either. And it's pretty much it. The
Rengar,
ones we
same
talked
as
about.
Kha'Zix.
Oh yeah, Rengar, don't try it.
We
No.
didn't mention Cho'Gath.
I don't like Cho'Gath.
Is
Trundle.
Cho'Gath even on the list?
He is.
I'm not looking at any list. I was just
Yeah, he
looking
is.
at-
But he's got a 48% win rate and a 0.47% pick rate, so I don't like it. I think he's pretty good at top lane. I don't like him in the jungle, though.
All right.
And that's pretty much all the important ones, I think.
Yeah,
Well,
I agree.
You guys asked us for a jungle list for new players, so we will assemble one.
You know,
Huzzah.
like a pile of pitchforks.
So it is done. Enjoy, and we will pick a new role. And if you guys liked this discussion, if you thought it was good, then we will go ahead and do one for each role.
Oh, one more. Ivern, no. That's all I had to say.
Yeah, no, fuck Ivern. That's that's terrible. Ivern,
Aggressive
okay,
thumb
so
down.
since Ivern was made, he has not been properly balanced for what he is actually supposed to do. And I feel like they just kind of went, we have no idea how this champion's supposed to work. We kind of
But
give
dude,
up.
I'm channeling Meteos now. But the new champion is so unique. Oh, it's so different. It's so unique. Have you seen that clip,
Yes,
Brad?
I have. That's a good.
No, has Brad seen it though? Dude, that's one of my favorite League of Legends clips. It's just Meteos talking about Riot's design team and like how all they care about is if the new champions are unique or not. And just be like, oh my god, it's so
uniqueness
unique.
of the champion,
Yeah.
and not like whether it actually is fun to play.
It sounded
Or
like
functional.
He might have come during that.
That's
That-
what he
well, that's
was
how he
getting
said
at.
it.
Like, oh, I
It's
can't.
so unique.
Oh, it's so unique.
No, that's seriously what he did in the clip.
That was my combo, Meteos with Keanu Reeves' voice. It's so unique.
Meteos with Keanu Reeves whilst jizzing. That was a
Sounds
three-way.
sounds like an art piece, honestly.
You know, I should be paid for this shit.
It's like one of those art pieces where you turn it this way and it's a picture of Meteos, and then you turn it this way.
The
and
duality
it's a
of man.
Yeah, it's a picture
You
of
either
Keanu Reeves
dive in
jizzing.
Meteos or see yourself live long enough to become the Keanu. I like it, dude.
All right. Well, with
It's
that,
like
I think
no
we will
you're
wrap it up.
Matrix.
We've done what everybody asked us to do, so thank you. We have passed
I'll be
out.
back in another 8 weeks. See you guys.
Yeah, he's got to hibernate
See you guys
for another
in
8.
2019.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Peace out. A-Town down.
All right. Good podcast.
Dude, that was fucking long.
Yeah.
Yeah, but keep in mind, we also burned like 10 or something minutes.
No, we didn't.
Oh, shit, you're
We
right.
restarted on a new one. It was almost a 90-minute podcast.
Oh, shit, you're
I was
right.
gonna say something like 20 minutes ago, and I was like, fuck it.
Eh, fuck it, it was
That's
going
kind of
well.
how I was. I think we all noticed around the hour mark, and we're all
Yeah.
just like, I wanted to get through that list.
I
Because-
wanted to finish
Because
all
people
this.
ask so many questions about champion pool, and I always basically say the same things. It's like, if you're willing to put enough games in, you can play whatever you want. But I
Yeah.
think you should know which champions are the simplest. Like,
Right.
obviously, Udyr is going to work for you, you know?
And I know that you guys knew all the shit that I was hammering home.
All right,
over
well,
and
I
over and
stopped
over
the
again,
stream
But it
here.
was still important to just be like, if you want to play this, you have to play this a lot.
Yes.